Episode number 90 of Briar's Bits, presented to you by Briar.io and CheesecakeSwap.com, the AMM and yield farming protocol that I'm definitely interested in right now, and going to cover more in this podcast today. Shout out to them for being sponsors of the show. 4 stories today on Bitcoin, 1 on ChainLink, and 1 on IFUND, a new decentralized fund management protocol. Let's do it. Quickly, we scroll through the market. Bitcoin up 3.43%, $56,114. Ethereum down 1.93%, $1,796. And Link down 3.78%, $29.75. Whoa. What do we have here? JPMorgan, Bitcoin exposure basket could be gateway drug for clients from Nina Bamba Shiva from Forbes Crypto. JPMorgan is giving clients from Forbes staff. JPMorgan is giving clients a way to gain exposure to Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies through a structured note offering tied to a basket of stocks related to the assets. According to the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission filings, the notes do not provide direct exposure to cryptocurrencies, but instead are tied to JP Morgan's basket of 11 unequally weighted stocks that are directly or indirectly related to cryptocurrencies or other digital assets. The weights of the stocks in the basket were determined based in part on each of the company's exposure to Bitcoin and liquidity. Given that the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission has yet to approve a cryptocurrency-backed ETF, these JP Morgan notes in some way circumvent regulation and represent an ETF or mutual funds or sorts holding 11 stocks. The market value of the notes and payment at maturity will largely depend on the performance of Class A common stocks of MicroStrategy, Square, and the common stocks of Riot Blockchain and NVIDIA Corporation. Together, the 4 stocks of these companies make up 68% of the basket. According to BitcoinTreasuries.org, a site that tracks firms' exposure to Bitcoin, the first 3 collectively hold $5.6 billion worth of cryptocurrency. Ever since August 2020, when MicroStrategy disclosed that it was making a big bet on Bitcoin on its balance sheet, its shares have soared along with the price of the digital asset. So super bullish for crypto, super bullish obviously for Bitcoin and freedom, as the banks are all bending the knee one by one. JP Morgan, who, Jamie Dimon for years, going out of his way to bash Bitcoin, even bashed his own daughter in interviews I saw, at least one interview, for owning cryptocurrency. It's all coming together. First they laugh, and then eventually you see what happens. Here we are, 12 years in, everybody capitulating now. Second story today, ChainLink price from Lorenzo Stroh eyeing up all-time highs amid weak resistance ahead. ChainLink price remains contained inside a broadening wedge pattern on the 12-hour chart. The digital asset has defended a key support level and aims for a significant upswing. I picked up a little ChainLink myself. ChainLink price has been trading inside an uptrend on the 12-hour chart since February 26 and aims for a significant leg up as it faces weak resistance above its current price. ChainLink price is primed for a 40% upswing. On the 12-hour chart, ChainLink remains bounded inside an ascending broadening wedge pattern. The 100 SMA support level was held in the past 24 hours as bulls aim for a breakout above $32 towards new all-time highs. The long-term price target is located at $43, which is the upper trend line of the pattern. The in-out of the money around price chart shows almost no significant barriers above $31. So once that is breached, it could be go time for the Link Marines. Let's go. More on the Bitcoin price from CoinDesk. Bitcoin hits 2-week high above 55K ahead of U.S. inflation data. Also today, the United States stimulus package, $1.2 trillion more of poison injected into the monetary supply. Monetary poison, not good for United States people. Not putting that into Bitcoin, most likely. Not financial advice, but you see what's happening here. 40% of all U.S. dollars will have been printed in the last 12 months. Once this next inflation dose goes out. So a lot of people getting high on monetary supply, but Bitcoiners staying steady. Not falling for the bread and circus pony show as they continue to just debase and just steal the purchasing power right out from underneath people's bank accounts through inflation with all of this printing. It's just it's a bad joke at this point, and we know how this ends. Look at every country in the history of the world that has had fiat money. The average lifespan is only 30 years. So the United States has gotten away with this for a long time. I'm not saying the dollar is going to collapse, but I mean, what does it matter if you're losing 10 or 15% a year? Eventually, what you're holding is literally worthless. So, higher U.S. inflation expected to be revealed today is both good and bad news for Bitcoin prices from Omkar Godboll. Bitcoin continues to trade higher Wednesday, shrugging off impending U.S. inflation data that could amplify fears of an early unwinding of monetary stimulus by the Federal Reserve. The top cryptocurrency by market value reached a 2-week high of $55,822 earlier today after a 5-day winning streak that saw prices claw their way back from below 47,000. Scheduled for release at 8:30 a.m. Eastern, the U.S. Consumer Price Index (CPI) is expected to show the cost of living in the world's largest economy rose 0.4% in February from 0.3% in January. In annualized terms, the CPI is forecast to have risen 1.7% from 1.4% in January. As we know, many of us know that the CPI, they constantly manipulate the way the CPI is calculated with changing it's not a fixed basket of goods, so they can alter the data on what exactly is accounted for in the CPI, saying that some things grew, some things became more valuable in percentage terms, but not really nominally. It's just another scam. The data could influence Bitcoin's price, given that cryptocurrency is considered a hedge against inflation and monetary and fiscal policy imprudence. While a bigger than expected jump in inflation would strengthen Bitcoin's long-term bullish case, the cryptocurrency's immediate reaction could be bearish. That's because an above forecast CPI would validate the narrative that the cocktail of monetary and fiscal stimulus alongside an economic rebound is stoking inflation. That could lead to an early tightening of stimulus by the Fed and another leg higher in treasury yields in the U.S. dollar. So the cryptocurrency market has pulled back a little bit as I'm recording this, but it's still right at where he noted in this article, 55,600 right now, just a little bit under that for the 2-week high. So we're sitting right at the 2-week high, but a lot of money funnels into Bitcoin on these big moves upward. So, the alts bleed a little bit or, trade even for a few days, and then that money normally ends up back in the alts. It's a big cycle, but as always, not financial advice. Fourth story. Israeli pension giant put $100 million into Grayscale Bitcoin Trust report. Al-Shuler Shaham made the investment into GBTC in the second half of last year when Bitcoin was trading at 21,000. Smart guy. From Ian Allison of CoinDesk. Israeli pension company Al-Shuler Shaham. It's not a company, it's a guy, or maybe it's both. Or it's not a guy, it's a company, and maybe it's both. Has sunk $100 million into the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust (GBTC), according to reports in the local press. Shaham is one of the largest investment houses in Israel with over $50 billion in assets under management. The firm made the announcement into GBTC in the second half of last year when trading at 21,000, according to the report. The revelations come at a time when institutional investors are scrambling to get exposure to cryptocurrency, either directly or at arm's length via funds like Grayscale. The Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, launched in 2013, is the world's largest Bitcoin fund, offering investors the opportunity to gain exposure to leading cryptocurrency. Grayscale is owned by Digital Currency Group, also the owner of CoinDesk. According to its latest figures, Grayscale currently has $42.1 billion in net assets under management across all of its cryptocurrency trusts and funds. So the bullish news just keeps rolling for Bitcoin and crypto in this bull market, which I still think will wind down at the end of this year. Not advice, as always. There's fifth story. Digital Currency Group to invest $250 million in Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. Digital Currency Group, the parent of Grayscale Bitcoin Trust manager, plans to invest $250 million to gain indirect exposure to Bitcoin. People just can't get enough Bitcoin right now. And as we all know, there's only 900 new Bitcoin on the market every day. So limited supply, excessive demand. What happens next? Today, Digital Currency Group, DCG, announced an authorization to purchase $250 million worth of shares in Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, GBTC. DCG is the parent company of Grayscale Investments, which manages GBTC, but DCG plans to purchase the shares on the open market with cash on hand. But there are a few other stipulations that were announced, and the actual total purchase may vary in timing and volume depending on price and cash available. This is from Bitcoin Magazine. The purchase will create indirect exposure to Bitcoin for DCG and is indicative of the group's conviction in its GBTC product. DCG is a prominent institution investing in blockchain projects, and it has played a key role in accelerating the adoption of digital assets in the traditional financial world. CEO Barry Silbert maintains a lead in enhancing the availability of digital currencies and other digital assets. Today, DCG sits at the epicenter of the industry, backing more than 175 blockchain-related companies in over 35 countries, according to the announcement. Meanwhile, Grayscale Investments is the largest digital asset manager in the world with over $42.1 billion, as I noted before, assets under management. GBTC is the firm's primary investment product and is designed to offer institutional exposure to Bitcoin. By retaining full compliance with regulators and utilizing the security of existing financial frameworks, GBTC allows investors and firms to enter positions they would otherwise be unable to, and it charges them a premium to do so. So GBTC taking over that taking over the role, complete control of companies that want exposure indirectly to Bitcoin. Here we go, guys. I wanted to bring you an update on my yield farming experiment with CheesecakeSwap.com. 10 days in now, so I'll show you guys how I'm doing, how I'm faring. This update coming on the heels of their listing. Big news for them on CoinMarketCap. So shout out to them. Congratulations on that. So far, my $650 investment, I've earned 587.139 cakes over, I believe it's 10 days now. So 587.143 times 0.65. The price is also the CCAKE price is also, cheesecake price is also making all-time highs now. So $381 in 10 days. APR currently at 562% for me on here. I've also staked some BUSD, and I'm getting 915.15% on that. Only had that stake for 3 days. So definitely very cool experiment here. Obviously, they have the AMM exchange built into this as well. So yeah, Cheesecake Swap making moves here, as I noted. The market cap now over $300,000, $317,957, and approaching $1 million locked up now. So 587,956, getting close. Just a few days ago, it was still under 200,000. So I think this CoinMarketCap listing is definitely propelling them with some good momentum here. Last story today on IFUND, a very interesting cash tag IFUND project that I have taken notice to in the last 24 hours. Say goodbye to portfolio. Checkmate, 86% of cryptocurrencies trader reported that inexperienced, limited capital, stressful trading environments, and outrageous gas fees were emptying their pockets. That all changes now. Introducing IFUND, the world's first cryptocurrency mutual fund trading platform with the open creation of trustless social trading groups utilizing Uniswap protocols. Decentralized free market platform allowing risk-adjusted mutual fund creation. Anyone can create a fund. Reduces protocol and network congestion by consolidating trades. Eliminates trading fees by joining groups. I love that. Or social trade groups. I had a couple people already telling me I should launch a fund, and I'm thinking about it. Pooled Capital maximizes profitability while evenly distributing risk, aligns incentives and risk tolerance of previously competing traders. Trade contests and leaderboards encourage skilled traders to perform at their best to earn a higher profit take percentage as reputation and demand soars. This thing absolutely launched over the last 30 days, up 2,300%. 14 days, 2351. 7 days, 2750, and the last 24 hours up 4.7%, but it did pull back pretty heavily, down 52.4% currently from the all-time high of 1 day ago of 24 cents. So currently at recording time, we're sitting at 14 cents, 14.2 here. So wanted to cover this real quick. It's a very interesting project. It's actually down for the last no, it just went green, up 2.56%. So that is correct. So, but you can see the figures here. Monstrous run, but great idea. This is DeFi. I mean, I can't imagine. You see, I love Bitcoin. One of the first people in the world in Bitcoin, but you cannot just sit on the sidelines and pretend that DeFi isn't going to revolutionize the entire world. It is happening before our eyes. I mean, maximalist, what do you guys do? I mean, it must be boring knowing every single thing about Bitcoin and not exposing yourself to learn. The autodidacts, they will prosper. The Bitcoin maximalists, they are the archaics. I mean, what are you guys doing? It's just embarrassing for these guys at this point, in my opinion. That wraps it up today, Wednesday, March 10th. Everybody have a good Wednesday evening. Let's see what happens as these stimulus checks, these monetary, doses of, the stimuli, the debasement of our currencies, our currency in the United States continues to unwind. So, if you're in the right projects, if you've done your research, you know what's coming. You've prepared yourself. You prepared, yourself and your family for what's ahead. Everyone have a good Wednesday.